Tonight, we'd like to begin with our inductees. And our first comes from a sport which is not only a Canadian pastime, it's also a Canadian passion and obsession. The sport is, of course, curling. Yes? Yes. It is played in every community, large and small, in the province of Ontario and across our great nation. And from the Brier to the Grand Slam to international ice, this curling great has been dominant for decades, proving that the roaring game runs through his family's blood. Please watch this video about the remarkable Glenn Howard, the Wizard of Winter.
Final stone. Drawing against a couple for the World Championship. And they need 4 foot.
Line's good.
Brent Lang on the left, Craig Saville on the right. You can hear now. Wayne Maddaw. This is a big brush now. They got to get into the 4 foot. Take it down to the 4 foot for a World Championship. Bite the red for a World Championship. Take it in for a World Championship for Canada.
For more than half a century, the men and women of the Howard family from the shores of Georgian Bay have staked claim to the title of First Family of Ontario Curling. 3 generations of fathers, sons, and daughters ruling the 4-foot ring. On the sheets of Penetanguishene and beyond, family heritage may throw lead rock, but it's steadiness, shot selection, and sweeping that wins the ends. For Glenn Howard, it began with 2 brothers sliding tuna cans across a well-waxed kitchen floor, polishing the skills that made him a 4-time world champion, an Ontario champion an astonishing 17 times, and elevated him to compete at the Brier a record 20 times.
Glenn Howard and the team from the Coldwater Club in Ontario are winners.
It's a heritage of success and a testament to the power of family and a passion for a simple, complex sport that has never left the house.
So the names of Glenn Howard, Wayne Maddaw, Brent Lang, Craig Saville, Scott Howard, and Scott Taylor will go on the Tankard Trophy.
Presenting to Glenn Howard is Ontario Sports Hall of Fame board member Shane Thomas Loverick. Ladies and gentlemen, they called him Cliffy. He's one of the most popular skips in the game. From Penetanguishene, Ontario, world champion Glenn Howard.
Just seemed like the right thing to do right then. Wow, this is freaking cool. Hopefully I can see this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is really special for me tonight to be here and be amongst all of you tonight. It's surreal. It's an honor, it's a privilege, it's something I will never forget. It's funny, when I got thinking about doing a speech, I thought, what would the kids do today? The kids would go to ChatGPT. And I thought, well, I don't even know what ChatGPT is, but I thought, you know, maybe I can look it up. I want to do the right thing, I want to say the right thing, I want it to be perfect. Then I got thinking, AI or ChatGPT didn't make any shots for me. I had to use that on my own. So what you hear tonight is right from the horse's mouth. The unfortunate part, it's about 1.5 to 2 hours long. I can't. Just kidding. It'll be under an hour. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone on the selection committee, the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. Thank you very much for having me, for thinking of me. It is an absolute pleasure to be here tonight. Thank you very much. When I first heard I was inducted, my immediate reaction is one of humility. When you think about all the amazing inductees been here in the past, I look at the list tonight, and congratulations to everybody, past and present, for being inducted into the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. And then I realize it's a real honor. It's an honor and a privilege to be here tonight. And it really is pretty cool. I don't take being inducted into the Hall of Fame as anything less than cool. And it's an honor to be here, and I don't take this lightly. I was very lucky to have worn the Ontario crest, I think 17, 18 times on my back, and 4 times the maple leaf. And I can honestly tell you, there is no better feeling than to wear that crest from Ontario, and then obviously to wear the Canadian maple leaf. It gives me shivers, literally just thinking about it. If anybody has ever had that privilege, you know what I'm talking about. And again, it is the best feeling in the world. I have to admit, though, I do find it a little bit awkward. I played in a team, a curling team, 4-person curling team for my entire life, and I'm just an individual on that team. And I feel that it's the teams and the teammates that I've had over the years that have got me up here on stage. And if I had a choice, I'd have every one of them up on the stage with me tonight. Well, most of them anyway. I did a lot of reflecting when I was preparing for this tonight, and I just remember there were so many ups and downs, so many failures and successes in my career, and I did realize that I actually failed more than I succeeded. Fortunately, I did reach the podium a lot, an awful lot of silvers, an awful lot of bronze medals, and a couple of gold, thank God. But it's part of sport. You learn from your failures to be able to succeed and move forward, and hopefully you can win. And winning is a lot more fun than losing, folks. Just throwing that out there. But so many amazing memories through the years, so many stories, every win, every loss. Then I came to the conclusion that I'm eternally thankful. That's really what came through all this. I'm thankful, and I know it's a cliche, but I wouldn't be up here tonight without support. And as you know, support comes in many different forms. When I talk of support, the first thing I think of are teammates. And I've had so many amazing teammates in my career, and again, I wish they were all up here with me tonight. I can't name them all because there's a plethora. But what I can do tonight, though, is I got 2 special guests here with me. And they're right here on my front table. I have Wayne Madaw and Richard Hart, and collectively the 3 of us have won a lot of bonspiels. Wayne and I have won 2 world championships together. Rich Hart and I won a world championship together. Rich Hart's a silver medalist at the Olympics. I can tell you 2 of the best curlers that have, not only out of Ontario, out of Canada, and in the world, are sitting with you here tonight, folks. And there is no way I would be up here tonight had I not played with those 2. Incidentally, I did invite about 50 teammates to come tonight. These are the only 2 that showed up. So I clearly had to say something about them, didn't I? You know, boys, but seriously, guys, you rock. Pardon the pun. This brings me to my family. I'm going to start with my late parents, Bill and Barb Howard. They introduced me to the sport, supported me throughout my entire career. They did everything for myself and my brother. My dad taught us how to play the game properly. And his famous saying to me and my brother was, "Boys, you have to learn how to lose before you can learn how to win." And I'll tell you, I learned well because I lost a lot. But I'm true to those words. I think it's very important in sport to understand how to lose and take it graciously, learn from it. Hopefully it makes you a better person, hopefully it makes you a better athlete, and strive for your goals after that. Brings me to my big brother, Russ, 6.5 years older than me. I followed in his footsteps. He was my mentor. I did everything I couldn't help but watch him. I was blessed to play with him for over 15 years. Looked up to him growing up. My dream was just to play with him in a national championship. I got that dream early on in my career. My second year in men's, we actually went to the national championship, lost the final, another loss. Dad says, I'm going to learn from it. And fortunately, the year after we won. And I was blessed. We won seven, won seven provincials, went to 7 Briers, and won 2 world championships together. I owe a lot to my big brother, as he, to me, is one of the greatest curlers that ever played. Thanks, buddy. To my kids, Scott and Carly, they're in the house tonight, right here. They've put up with a lot, I'll tell you. My entire career, I worked full-time. I managed beer stores. They're dropping like flies right now, but I managed beer stores. Thank God I got my pension paid for. But I had a full-time job, and unfortunately, all my holidays went to curling, and we never actually went on a family vacation, like a real vacation. But we did have vacation in some of the hottest spots in Canada: Hamilton, Regina, KW, Winnipeg. Like, have you ever been to Winnipeg in the winter? It's spectacular, said no one. But that's where we actually vacationed. The kids came to the Brier and followed me all over the country. Kids, sorry about that. But you know what? It couldn't have been all bad. They showed up tonight. I guess the proverbial apple didn't fall far from the tree, because both my kids have taken on curling. They're flourishing in it. They're doing really well, competing at the highest level that makes myself and my wife very proud. Scott, Carly, thank you. I also had the pleasure of playing with my son, Scott, for the last 8 years of my career, which has been absolutely incredible. It wasn't supposed to last that long, but I'm playing with my kids, so I wanted to keep playing. I also played with my daughter, Carly, in the Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship. And I'll tell you, folks, if you ever get the chance, it's a father's dream to be able to play with your kids at the highest level in the sport you love. And it has been amazing. I did leave the last to the I did leave the best to the last. And that's about, talk about support, to my wife, Judy. We've been married 37 years. I don't think we've been on 3 vacations together until I retired. She thought, she knew what she was getting into when we got married, but I don't think she really believed that I would last as long as I did in the game. But she was always there to support me. She never complained, that I know of. And she was just there. She was my biggest fan. She never missed an event. She never complained. She didn't say we have to go to the Kirks and Caicos. Let's go to Hamilton and root you on in the Brier in 2007. And she's been amazing. There is absolutely no way I would be up here without the support of my wife. Jude, thank you, and I love you. Why do I get emotional? Jeez. The last thing I want to do, I want my table, if you could all stand up. This is why I'm standing here tonight, folks. Family and friends. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for this amazing honor. Cheers.